whatever. Forgive the misprint, but I accidentally had episode 10 instead of episode 1 for the stream. Anyway, I yeah. Oh my gosh. You're actively fighting the gods? Wow. Anyway. mm, Okay, so we are starting stream. Welcome to the Tavern of Tales. Unfortunately, we are not continuing our Heroes of Mirthwell series. Uh, Schedule conflicts and all that jazz. We are starting up the Eternal Wheel, which is going to be in a new setting of my design, where the entire world is a machine. In this setting, we have our heroes, Loge, Loge, and Horologe and Misolis, who are dwellers within the dominion of Solus, the god of light and blessings, the god whose primary function in the world is to maintain and keep the sun going. So, before we continue, me Solus, just to let you know, and uh, Horo Loge, I'm gonna get it eventually. Um, One thing to note whenever hunting down bounties, it's always a dead or alive bounty. They prefer you to bring them in alive, but no one will judge you if you kill the person you're after. Um, but yeah. So, starting us off. How would you have gone to this first place? You have your first bounty. You know their name, and you're going after them. They are not a deserter, but a veteran in the army who, after the long 5 years of peace that you've had since the last major war, decided to leave. Problem is, he's causing problems. Um, his name. Let's see here. Need to find him again. His name is Orestes Mistan, a copper dragonborn. From what you already know, yeah, he's been attacking merchant caravans that have been traveling out from the city of Illimani. He's gathered a couple of men and bandits around him and has gotten to the point where even when the local militia and guard has been sent to try and find and quell the problem, they have just been sent back injured and beaten up. That is one thing in his favor, though. He's done very well not to kill anyone, or at least kill as little people as possible. Um, Before we get into your introductions, first off, do you have any other methods of investigation that you wish to make? And this will specifically be investigations that you've made before you actually left for the town of Illimani. Okay. Make an investigation. Make an investigation check or history check, whichever you prefer. Nice. From what you can tell from this place and what you've gathered about this place, it is a port town. It's not necessarily a city. Mm, okay, it's not. Sorry, I've seen the screen freeze a couple times, so I'm like, okay, what's going on? Anyway, it's not necessarily a city. Let me get some music going in the background so we don't have just silence. Um, let's start with the arcade comic. Okay, there. Okay, so Ilumani is a port city. Not necessarily a city, but more of a town or a village. It's not big enough to be a city, but it's not small at all. It's also a good trade hub. It's a good place for merchants to sail into town to get to any of the more close by areas in that place. It's also got a wealth of vineyards and fishing spots that people know of to like make wine and grapes and fruits. They sell olives and olive oil as well as fish from from the sea nearby. Um, and it is one of those very advantageous positions for a town to be in. Number one, most of the Dominion of Solus has sea. There is a there is a good amount of like kind of rocky plains and pasture, but the grand majority is the sea, and it's not. It's a saltwater sea that just allows for a lot of fishing, a lot of sea travel, and it does really go for that Mediterranean lifestyle and feel. It's warm during the days, cool during the nights. And did you catch all of that? I'm like pausing and such. It's been smooth. Okay, cool, good. Um, one of the other things that you've noted also with a 20, it is rumored that the den of a sea serpent lies nearby the town. And there's a legendary hero that was claimed to have gone out and slain a sea serpent a long while back. Nobody knows if where the den is. Nobody knows if there's any treasure there or if it's even inhabited still. And that is one of the problems that people do face. If there is a sea serpent den, it could still be there. Or at least one of its descendants could be there. Mhm. I see. Uh, Make an investigation check or a nature. Well, yeah, investigation check or history check also, whichever you prefer. In total, okay, yeah, you're not entirely sure. Um, they seem to be targeting people on the roads. That's about all you can gather. So it's definitely not kind of piracy. It's not attacking people at sea and stealing stuff there. It's definitely catching people on the roads. Yeah. Yes. There are a total of 3 roads, and you do note only one road is being attacked. No, you're not there. All this is investigation stuff before you can even get to town. You can roll an roll either a nature or survival check. Mother, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be repeating the same song. Sorry, YouTube, disagreeing with me. Anyway, you can roll either a nature check or a survival check based off of the maps that you're looking at to see if you can't pick up any spots that might be a good first start. 17? Okay. Al- mhm. Along that one road, there are 2 spots that stand out. Uh, there is a high-rise kind of hill. It's it's listed as kind of a gentle sloping hill, which is usually unusual for the type of terrain that you're used to. Usually slopes and hills rise up more into like static blocks, but this one seems to have been formed and like dirt has settled over something rather than the earth itself changed its orientation to match. Um, there is also a forest a little ways outside that skirts the road. And the road at one point does actually enter the forest, and that is another possibility of a place they could be hiding out. Okay. Okay. Hmm. That is true. Yeah, that is true. Mhm. Okay. Cool. All right. Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. Yeah. Woo. So that does leave the question: how are you going to? How are you entering the city? From the road or from the sea? Hmm. Okay. So you make your travel to this town of Illuminati. It is a shoreside town, and one of the things about this particular town that makes it unique of most of the shoreside towns that you've seen is it's actually built into a cliff face, almost like giant stairs. There are like three levels to the town itself. So on the mid morning sail, as you are approaching the town, with the sun beating down, the cool sea air cooling things down, even though it's that hot Mediterranean sun. um, you are presented with a profile of the city or the town where you see the ports ahead of you, and then you can see in the distance like a sheer cliff face that goes up probably about 100 to 150 feet, and you can see from there there's a series of like earthen elevators that are raising and lowering occasionally with people or other places. Like it's like two in tandem, making sure that it keeps steady. Um, and then there is that second level until another sheer cliff of 150 feet with another set of elevator systems that allows for the topmost level to be accessed. And from here, you can already see kind of the silhouette of the temple area, which is made of that like alabaster marble structuring. It's raised up, and there are what looks to be stairways on all sides of the temple. Even from the distance, you can tell it's a pretty immense structure for the size of the town. So you know that they're wealthy enough to give some proper deference to at least Solus. Um, the there are also places that you see where there are slopes built in, like carved in and built for people to travel upwards without the elevator systems, which gives you kind of an idea from the distance that the free option is much more taxing physically because you actually have to go uphill, and you're probably going to have to pay money to actually get the faster transport up and down between the different levels of the city, of the town. The temple is on the highermost level. The highermost level is also the place where the roads outward are. A little bit, yeah. There, there is a slope system that is built for people to be able to take carts. You do see that the elevators are built to allow for, like, carts and such also to be taken. It's just one of those things where if you want convenience, you'll probably have to pay money for the faster and more convenient service. I see. Um, there would be a courier service, yes. I see. Um, getting out onto the dock, you you haven't even entered the city yet. I'm just telling you what you see as you're approaching. Um, yeah. Getting out onto the dock, you are met with an immediate kind of marketplace vibe that is predominantly a fish market. And you're seeing prices up there into like 5 silver up to a gold piece or maybe 2 gold pieces. This is the high end fish market, mostly because this is where the freshest fish are. Yes. Uh, Starting with me Solus, go ahead and describe your character and like what he looks like and what his name is. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. All right. Uh, Horo Loge. Go ahead and describe your character. Mhm. Okay. 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 So the first thing you're going to do is try and look for a cart, right? Okay, cool. I will pull that up. Yeah, that's very cool. Nice. Mhm. 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 Okay. Um. Yeah. Go ahead. Uh. You are walking up to what looks to be a smaller boy who, around his neck, has a little pendant with a mirror on it. You do note that this is a sign or kind of respect homage to the god Mira, who is of transportation. So usually, usually, well, usually the god of transportation blesses those who actually do focus on courier service and transportation services. And the servants of Mira are often in the transportation business, not just for like goods and services, but like public transportation type thing. So you see this like smaller boy. He has this what looks to be a two-person cart. It's one of those carts that are designed that they just pull on it, and he looks up on you and goes, "Yeah, make your intimidation check." Okay, so yeah, he pales as you speak down to him, and he's like, "Okay, Mister, you can rent the cart if you want. Uh, it's 5 copper to take you anywhere within the city." Okay, please don't hurt me. Uh-huh. His eyes go wide. He goes, "Sure, Mister. Thank you very much," and pockets it. Exactly so. It's like my mom always said. Get yourself a job within with the servants of Mira. They'll be able to help you, and the sun will shine on you, and you'll be able to reflect it back to him in all its glory. He kind of he kind of flinches when he kind of flinches when Misola says that. Mhm. Give me a moment. See what this kid knows. I don't know much. Rumor has it that maybe it's someone who used to live here. Just a lot of bad men and such. Well, I haven't heard much. I heard their big boss man was originally from this town, but don't know if any of the others came with him or actually are just people from town. Don't know why they would be doing such a thing. I mean, we do everything we can to. Everybody does what they can to help out, and it's usually a really good place. Oh, seems like an awful reason. Ooh, that 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 that's really nice. I hear that there's a lot of business being gummed up because of them attacking merchants on the caravan. Some merchants have to go like 3, 4 extra days just to go to the next city over, which would be normally a 2 day journey max. Usually, I try my darndest to know every bit about the city. Well, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I do know that the reflection of Mira up at the temple or somewhere abouts would generally keeps close tabs on things like that. They probably would know of merchants who have been complaining about such things. Well, thank you so much. It's been, I've been working since morning, so you're really giving me a load off my feet. Mhm. Well, well, my mom says if I get strong enough, I can then become a soldier and prove my name in the honor of Solus. Oh, surely. My mom will be glad for the extra food. Hey, Poncho, how's it going? Yeah, I can hear you now. You are an hour late. That's okay. I have already started streaming and have kind of low key playing some music in the background. Uh, I was wanting to work things out earlier today that unfortunately couldn't happen. No, this is actually session one. Session zero was last week. Yeah, from the looks of things, session zero was complete enough that we were able to just go into session one today. I apologize. That probably was unclear on my part. Not entirely. I wasn't clear enough. I could have uh mentioned that I was planning for this session to be session one. Okay. Um. But yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome, Poncho. Let's see here. Okay. You are going to the temple. So, going to the temple, you are met with a couple of acolytes who meet you at the very start. Let's see pull up my notes. Are you asking for anyone in particular? They are wearing symbols of solace. One of the things you do know, like most smaller towns and villages, and this is only in the major cities is there a place for all the gods. Or is there a specific temple erected for all the gods? So this temple is specifically erected for Solus. But you can see along like the inner wall of the sanctum where the priests go and where people usually go for worship, there are shrines erected for the other gods. It is clearly obvious that Solus is the main god worshipped here, though. The person who is specifically attending to you is a halfling man. He looks up and goes, "Oh yes, we've been hearing quite a lot about this. Is there anything we can do to help, or anybody we can contact?" Oh, you'd want us to get in contact with Hive. All right, definitely, certainly. Give me a moment, and we will get him. Get his. Get him. We will fetch him at once. And you see her bring up a hand. You see him bring up a kind of a bit of fleece and a brass ring, and kind of speak out and kind of pointing inwards towards the temple. And then after a couple of moments, go, all right, they are coming this way. Uh, it will be some time. He has been working with the mayor on some of these issues, trying to set up certain things. Now that you're here, he was certain. He's happy to see bounty hunters have come. Just sit tight. Here, come with me, and I'll be able to get some refreshments for you. Certainly, mister. Mm. The refreshments aren't anything too special. They are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh boy, my first weapon. And he kind of wraps it, tucks it into his waist type of thing. He has a little like kind of belt-ish on, and kind of wraps it up and tucks it in. You're not sure if this was the yeah, you're not sure if this was the best, but the way he's been acting, he's probably a pretty good kid, so he probably won't get in too much trouble. Mm. Oh, and one of the things you know, and you guys are aware of, especially being from the Dominion of Solus, the Dominion of Solus is an empire. There's one like central government that goes throughout the entirety of the Dominion. Um, And there is no technical town guard. The Imperial Army has military garrisons at each town and city, and they serve as the town guard. What usually, Mhm. What usually ends up happening is in times of war, whenever some military force needs to be pulled out, the cities that have military forces pulled out leave their rookies behind, at least to maintain the city, and once they've earned good marks enough for their time in protecting the local turf, then they're allowed to take part in battle. So it is one of those things that the Imperial soldiers sent out, they might have been rookies, but they are soldiers. They are the military. They also have probably been heavily reprimanded by their superiors for losing. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, so you are welcomed into the temple. You are given a bench to rest on. They don't provide you with quality food. Mostly, they give you like some grapes and water, which they they would also give you some olives as well. But it's nothing too big. It's stuff that you could readily eat and water to drink from. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And me, Solus, go ahead and make an insight check real quick. Okay. You notice as you are sitting and as you've made your travel up, you haven't been approached, but your character notices people are looking at you. You are drawing some attention, and you gather it's less because you're strange looking and more of due to your clan uh, and original tribe of peoples in the Imperium. They are kind of awestricken that someone of your caliber is here. You also get a sense of assurance from people, especially whenever they've heard that you're here to solve the problem with basically the local bandits. They're like, oh, good, it's going to actually be fixed. Yeah. Mm. After a good 30 minutes of waiting, a human comes up to you. He is not in the regular Greek garb that you would expect regular priests to be in, but he is in like Egyptian priest garb, like the golds, the silks. It's kind of close enough to Solus that it doesn't feel too much off, but you can tell this is this is a servant of Mira. He walks up and goes, "Ah, welcome, friends. It's so good to see you here. I trust your stay has been nice and your travel was smooth." Good, good, good. Well, Sorry, I just making sure everything was comfortable. Now, down to brass tacks. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So this man, he introduces he introduces himself. I am Hikaiv, and yes, I hear you were asking about merchants. There's a couple merchants that I have pointed to that have lodged several complaints. They have occasionally left along the longer passageways that we have provided for them. One of them I don't feel as sorry for, to be honest. They have been a rather painful thorn in my side. I am a servant of Mira, yes, but I help provide and maintain transportation. That is my service. They are expecting too much of me. They are expecting teleportation, and that is something I cannot do. I was not gifted with that service. They would need somebody who's been in a different source of college for me. Ah, well, he's actually a much more sensible fellow. He's actually the local blacksmith. Actually, the best local blacksmith. He has a duty to provide and help supply weapons for the locals, not just here, but he's outsourced, which tells you how good his services are, despite him not originally coming from Solus's dominion. He he's actually from Meltis's dominion, the god of death. His name is Bugsy. His name is Bugsy. You can actually find him in the center marketplace. Bugsy. He's a rabbit folk. He runs the shop at the Flame Tongue Anvil. You can find it in the center. You can, yeah, you can find it in the center part of town, near the main market area. Here, and he pulls out a small token that looks like a little mirror, almost in the size of a coin. Hand this to those at the elevator. It'll be a cheaper way down and faster. You are muted, by the way. Mhm. Yes, well, you are on official duties, and I'm sorry I was not able to be there to welcome you at the port, but I have a lot of business. Thank you. Make an intimidation check real quick. Okay. He kind of looks at you. You can tell he feels a little bit threatened and goes, "Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine, especially since it'll be easy to find where the elevators are." Oh. He takes it. Very interesting. All right. Well, thank you very much. I want somebody to roll a D100 for me. Okay, go ahead. And it's more appropriate, Horologe, that you do so. 87? What does 87 do? Mm-hmm. Nice. Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to need you both to make wisdom saving throws for me. You hear a boisterous laugh out of nowhere as you finish saying what you've said, Horologe, and handing over the gold pieces. And you hear echoing, "Make it so!" You recognize this voice. This is the voice of Solus himself. So, what was your wisdom saves? Okay. You both managed to resist it, but with the voice itself speaking, everybody in the temple area immediately practically groveled, including the priest of Mira, Whew. Mhm. Mhm. The priest of Mira is invigorated by that. After he is done groveling, he stands up and says, "I will find him at once." What was his name again? You had eventually got his name. Tell me what you think his name is. Mhm. Okay. And he was an elvish boy. So, I will find him at once. Don't worry, I will make sure he gets some of the finest jobs available. And quickly he leaves. Oh, no, 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 no. Basically, he gave you the token, and basically, so long as you have the token, from what you've gathered, traveling by elevator is free. Yeah. Hmm. But you are number one. You both are from a very well-known tribe that's known for its quality in warriors, and you are dealing with this very big problem. So, mm. Anyway, hmm, okay. Heading down, you indeed find that whenever you present the token to the people that are waiting by the elevator, they go, "Oh, please," and you see the earth raise up and a platform raise in front of you. Step onto the platform, please. Mhm. Yeah, and yeah, and it is kind of a interesting sensation. Most of like outdoor elevators do work like this because all it is them manipulating the ground itself to adjust the way it tends to on its own. One of the great mysteries is the ability to get a 10-foot square of Earth just to raise and lower with ease, just by mimicking some of the words of power of the world itself. And as you step onto the platform, um, the individual stands in front of you, recites some words, and pushes down in front of himself. And you begin to lower, and it's not like an alarmingly fast rate, but it is a quick. Uh, it is a pretty fast quip. You are probably every like second going down roughly about 10 feet. And just bef- just as soon as it's about to stop, it slows and provides a gentle stop for you. He bows and says, "Thank you very much." Mhm. The center of town, which is pretty much the second floor. Mhm. Mhm. It's make an investigation check. Okay, you immediately step into the market and immediately go towards the food section. And while there are fish stalls here which are rating from from like a silver piece all the way down to a like 5 copper to silver 2 silver type of thing. But there's also like grapes, olives, olive oil, produce, wine, and all this sorts of produce, food, and drink. There are also some like shops that sell like a farmer's like slaughter of lamb and all that. And then you realize after asking around for a bit, looking around and asking around, that the shop that you're looking for, the blacksmith's shop, is all the way on the other side of the market. Mhm. Um, I'm going to say yes. Specifically, they sell olive oil. Oh, surely, 5 silver for bottle. Thank you very much. And they give you back 4 silver. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Uh, bread and vinegar is probably going to together cost you about a silver piece. Yeah. Hmm. 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 Okay. Nice. Nice. Hmm. Hmm. I see. Make an investigation check. 15 total. You separate to find um, some gambling, just to roll some dice, have some fun. Um, you do eventually find some seedy people. They're sitting on like the near cliff edge, like underneath a tree that has grown out, and it provides shade. It kind of provides a good scenic view of the sea with shade of a tree, and like it's a really nice spot, and they're just sitting there. You can see like they have like a couple of loaves of bread, and they're they're definitely seedy because there's way too many weapons on them. Mhm. The only fun is changing money. What's it worth if you're not fixing to gain or lose some? Oh, give me a moment. I know, right? Yeah, that is the real question. Um, okay, give me a moment. Okay, this individual that you're sitting with, he is a dragon. He seems to be running the show here. He is a copper dragon, and it seems like three of the other guys with him are like as soon as you drop the longbow, they perk up and they kind of look between each other. The the dragonborn in question kind of brings a hand up to his chin, goes, "All right, yeah, we can do this. Uh, let's start us off." And me see here. We'll be playing Dead Man's Dice. Know how to play? Alright. We have these dice here, and he has an range of six-sided dice set up, and they're everything. They're mostly just like wooden dice that are painted dark with light spots for the numbers. And he's like, "Yeah, first roll 2 dice, and then you keep rolling more. If you get past 21, you bust." So, I'll let you start. 2d6 at the start. He hands you a cup to roll the dice. Five and one? Okay. Alright. You can keep going, or you can decide to hold off. Six and a one, so a 5 and a 1. You're at 14. Yes. Okay. Five total. So that is going to be 19. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Make a sleight of hand check. Okay, yeah, they don't catch it. You manage to use the dice cup in such a way that it's almost kind of like those dice stacking trick. So you're able to properly like shake up the cup in just that special way that whenever you put down, it's snake eyes. They're like, okay. Yeah, that was close. And and you can see this dragonborn is sweating. Well, if we match you, we'll technically be tied, and we'll have to try again. So first was a 5 and a 4, so 9. Another 9, so 18. He loses, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he is not able to. So he tries and he tries to like to do what you did. You can tell he's trying to cheat the system as well. Um, but he fumbles the shake a little bit, and he rolls a 4 for his next. And he's just like, ah! Mm. Yeah! It was in 50 gold. He's kind of given that shifty eye. Almost like there's like 3 of us and 1 of you type of thing. Yes. Yeah. Roll intimidation. 19? Okay, yeah. They watch you do this, and it's just kind of like they see the armor, and you you seem to be catching up on what they're doing, and you're like, it's not worth it. So they just, and you can tell they had just enough between the 3 of them to equal 50 gold. So you have cleaned them out. So, alright, you are heading to the blacksmith at this point, and you eventually get to the edge of the marketplace where the forge is, and you can hear the ringing, and you can tell this place must be it, especially with the obvious symbols and kind of iconography of the god of death just kind of placed up here. Ah, yes. Immediately as you step in, you're blasted with a wave of heat. The forge is in full force. And as you look around, you actually are somewhat surprised to see that the most of the weapons and like armor and all the other like metallurgy stuff is in the same style as what you would expect any other place from a Dominion of Solace. And you see this Herringon, a rabbit folk, who has a anvil that is up to his chin, and he just kind of jumps to hit the hammer every time, kind of using the impact of the hammer and rebound to give him momentum to jump again and bring it down to forge his weapons. And as you step in, he kind of gives notice of you, puts the weapon in the fire to heat up again, and goes, "So, what can I help you with?" "Pleasure's all mine. Yes, I am Bugsy." He raises up to shake yours and such. "How can I be of service?" Yeah. Ah, yes, trouble plenty. What can I say? I may be servant to God of Death, but it would be nice to get my weapons and armor to the militia over in the next city. Well, I mean, I'll meet him anyways, regardless of the time. It just is less convenient for me. Certainly. Definitely. And if you prove good enough, I might be able to lend you a weapon or two. I might have something that is to your fancy. Oh, definitely. Well, if you were requesting payment as well, that is also good, and I would have given you it for the service itself. You were wanting payment itself for this as like bodyguard service, yes? Oh, surely. What style would you like? Oh, you're wanting something that does more damage. I can do just the thing for you. Also, would you want an improvement to increase the damage of the crossbow itself? Hmm, I see, and he kind of takes it from you. Ah, I may be able to help you. It's an idea from Head, probably gifted from Meltis himself. I am not entirely sure. Um, but I will do this for you, especially if you're waiving any extra cost for protection. Revolvers. It takes a bit for me to use and build weapons of that caliber, but I can do it. I am well versed in all sorts of weaponry. It is passion of mine, trust me. Um, let's see. Oh, one thing I have noted of, and he's kind of noticing like your getup and such of your type. I assume you're one of like fanatical or hmm, how do I say this? You are very, very supportive of Solus over all other gods. Devout, that was word. And would it be a problem if I blessed it under Meltis? Nothing happens. Nothing happens. It makes sense. You're wanting a weapon that deals death. Death is a god. Why not have death bless your weapon? Makes death better. Sorry, makes the weapon better. Ah, surely. I have backlogged delivery, but it can wait for this one. Let me finish this weapon first, and I will get on to your request. Uh, give me, and he's kind of, you can tell, like, the common language of those who live in the Dominion of Solus is hard for him. There is a common language which everybody understands, but you can tell this person has gone through painstaking measures to learn the language of the common land. So, um, so yeah, he's 7 days times 10. No, wrong word. 7 days, 2. Yes. Yes. It's too much. It's too much money to bring guard down there because they just get beaten up. Last time I went there, I got some. He's kind of showing some of the scars. I got some close calls myself, but still. Oh, don't worry. They will probably give you discount. Probably from the rim. Same thing happens from roughly the same thing happens from my homeland. Those who live around the edge of the Dominion are very skeptical of outsiders. So close to the untamed lands. At about this time, yeah. Well, let me see your revolvers first. Hmm. He takes both, and like he puts one carefully on the anvil. His method of working with guns, you've noticed, he's been around guns. He knows how to work with them. So he opens up one revolver, just kind of looks at it, looks at the craftsmanship, and then at the other. All right, yours will be some difficulty, but I have a method. Um, Problem with guns is it's the bullets that do the damage, not the revolver itself. But I have special secret. Right. I can improve your both revolvers in a way that will make them better, even though they may not do as much more damage as usual. It will just make sure that whenever you do fight something, if it happens to have a natural resistance to mundane damage, it will get around that. Yeah, insight, deception. Let's see. Okay, so Horologe, you're pretty sure he he gambled his way and gathered it that way. This is not the first time this has happened. He was copper. We're going to end the session there. That seems like a really good space to end on. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, yeah. Well, thank you very much for being here. Poncho, thank you for coming and listening in. Hope you had a blast. Um, but yeah, if you guys, if anybody did get to this far, get this far, please. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you want to support the show, please actually support me through like, liking, subscribing, and commenting on the video. Also, if you want me as a game master, I provide my services on my Ko-fi page. The link will be in the description. It's also plastered on the page at the bottom. On the screen at the bottom. It's been there the whole time. But yeah, feel free to offer up my. I'm offering up my services. I'm trying to get people to play. Thank you very much, and yeah, you guys have a good day. Bye.